Hello, this is Zeke777, and welcome back to Arcane Revolution. Today is episode 27, and behind me here we've got building we were working on last time. So this is our botania building. I think I'm going to call it the Elven Exchange, just out of, there's elven stuff and we're exchanging things. Yeah, I like it. It's coming along. The details on the outside are, again, coming along. I'm not sure how I feel about some of it, but for the most part I like how the whole thing's turning out. There's a few more details I want to add here and there, like this blank wall here. I want to do something with that. This block here has to be there, and I'll get to that one in a second. But overall, I like how it's turning out. We still need to do some automation in here, though. And for our interior, we've got a little bit in place. So I've put in some of these golden chains with radiant lanterns on the bottoms of them. My plan is to not have visible open crates down here. I think I'm going to do most of my automation upstairs, including using, I believe it's Spectralis or Spectranthemum. Can't remember which one. One of those is a generating flower. The other is a flower that will move items to pretty much wherever you want within 12 blocks. So my plan is I'll have like an open crate up above, which will be dumping items into the Spectralis. We're going to call it Spectralis. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm going to call it. It's probably Spectranthemum. Anyway, it's going to drop them onto that, which is going to be bound to this radiant lantern. So basically, items are just going to be appearing out of thin air. And then in the middle, I'll have the inner chest here with item collection, and I think everything will be within range of just one item collector. And that should be okay. I'll need to figure out whether or not it's going to pick up items directly after being dropped instead of after they've hit. So we're going to have to work on that. For stairs, I decided against it. I've got a little ridge here, which I'm using as an up arrow and down arrow here, and I've got an alchemy array with feather and gold glowstone dust. It's called the updraft array. It's one of my favorites. Quick little elevator. Use it as often as I can. Super cheap, really compact, nice little elevator. Up top here, still to figure out where I'm going to lay everything out. But one thing down below here, first off, I have in place my dropper. And if we break this block right here, we have access to the side of the dropper. Which is where I'm going to be. Let's hold shift to jump up, please. And this is just a very simple, compact auto dropper system. Comparator goes into a block, redstone dust behind there, redstone dust on top of here. If you stick any item in here, what's something that I don't mind because it's going to be voided? Seeds, sure. Yeah, it automatically drops it. If you put more than one item, it'll just keep dropping items. Now, the Elven Portal itself will void items that don't have a trade, so that is something to worry about. Apparently there's an Easter egg, don't put bread in there. That's apparently a thing. But back here, let me shift jump here so I don't jump past it. I'm going to put a little blood node here, which will be hooked up to the dropper, which will be hooked up to stuff upstairs. And that will be what's feeding this. And basically once I hook it up, I don't need to actually ever have access to this again. So we can just patch that back up. So the mana system is basically just breathing here. It's going to be constantly going in and out. And that seems to be working. These guys are slowly filling up, but mostly I don't care what their level is, as long as the mana pools downstairs are filled all the time, which seems to be working. They're all filled. Next up, I need to figure out a layout up here. So we've got a little bit of room, but I've got a lot of automation that's going to be going on. I think in the last series, it ended up being quite a large mess of things being bound to others and corporeal crystals and all that stuff. So we're going to have a lot of room that's going to be taken up by that. I still have some room over here. I might have to put the Livingwood automation over here so it's closer to the mana pools. Instead of over here. I don't know. Need to figure that out. But the basically the automation stuff, the corporeal crystals and comparators and all that, that can be pretty much wherever actually. As long as it's able to control sending items to things. Honestly, it could be halfway across the town. It could be over in the farming district for all it matters, as long as it's loaded. But I think we might have enough room. If not, we can always break into a basement. Well, I have the basic outline of what I want set up here. So mana spreaders with bore lens, very similar to what we had last season. Mossy living wood on the ground to mark it, and a couple random carpets in my inventory here that we can use to set it up. Now, something I'm a little curious of is we might be able to get away with just using one of these, and I guess just dump both the living wood and living rock, or I guess regular wood and regular stone, on on one Rancarpus, I think that might work. It'll make it a little bit more compact, and it'll save me the resources on this, which is honestly not much, just Rune of Earth, so it's really all that matters anyway. But basically, so this one over here, diluted mana pool on this side is going to have recessive. So as soon as it fills up, it's going to immediately transfer it back to those pools. Then over here, it's going to be dominant sparks on these guys, which will then, of course, be pulling directly from the mana pools. I think that should be okay. These are diluted pools. They don't need to actually hold much of anything. One concern would be whether or not these guys here, if they fill up all the way, which would be the pools over there are completely full, pools over here are completely full. If they fill up all the way, this may end up backing up if this fills up, so I might at some point stick a mana void underneath these as well. That's a potential option. But other than that, this should work. So let me get a bunch of sparks, and let's see, I need sparks, I need open crate, I need a bit of redstone. Alrighty, so Rancarpus has a pretty big range. In fact, I may want to switch this into being a floating one, just because it's a little bit easier to deal with. You know, I'm going to have to do that. So let's break you, we'll place you in a little bit. Instead, let's work on the redstone aspect. So let's grab, I guess just anything really, doesn't really matter. Let's get some Livingwood. Wisdom wood would be better. Do I have any wisdom wood with me? I think down here. Nope, and nope. Cool. Stone brick, that'll work. I just need some sort of block to place things on, doesn't really matter at this point. Okay, so we need our open crate and some hoppers going into it. So let's see about, I can't place anything here because it'll get blown up from that. I can place things here, here, and here, that would be fine. But I don't know if I really want to. So it doesn't, I really should have planned this. You can go right here. So if I place my Rancarpus here-ish, and that's kind of standing because I need to place the mossy living wood under there. Stone brick, you will be where items fall. And the reason I want it here is so that the redstone won't mess up that guy. So let's get a little bit of you. Let's get a stone plate. I think a stone pressure plate is what I want, although I'll need to find that out. So let's get some redstone out of our redstone bag. And let's go ahead and see if this works. If I place redstone here, and I drop an item on you, you get no signal. So, not a stone pressure plate. We need a wooden pressure plate. Let's see, do I have any wooden things in here? No, I don't. I never have anything I need on me. I think I have some regular wood down here, though. Nope, not that one. Over here, acacia, that'll work. So you, turn you into planks, and give me one pressure plate. Oh, it's actually an acacia pressure plate. Interesting. Let's hop back upstairs here and figure out where we want this. Okay, so this seems to work. Redstone there, toss you on, you get a signal of 15. So that works out fine. Now that I know that, we can get rid of this. So, in fact, I'm going to move you over a little bit because I need this to actually be, I guess, here and here. So if I have a pressure plate there and I stick some redstone on top of here, you, I believe, should get a signal. Interesting, I thought I'd pull it out of there. Interesting, okay. Less useful. What about down here? Is there anything I can do to make this... My goal, I guess I can say here, is let's grab open crate and place it on top of this. And I want a hopper to go in the side of this. In fact, I want two hoppers because I need one for the stone and one for the wood. So like that. Ideally, this will be what I want. However, I don't think that's going to work. Place you. Okay, so that is there. And I imagine if I place anything in here... Right, magnet. Just turn you off. So, there we go. And let's throw a little bit in this one. Yeah, and it keeps flowing. So that is not what I want. I want a way to shut off both of these hoppers because those hoppers are going to be what's sending items in. So let's see what we can do. So I think ideally I would have, I guess, the inverse of a pressure plate. I'm not sure if that's actually a thing or something that I can wire up in such a small area. I guess that's not even doing it either. It's interesting because it will power redstone dust that's here, but it won't depower the torch. Sorry, I have a infant on my lap who's squirming around a lot. So if let's see. I can't get rid of this block itself because the pressure plate's on top of it. If I place a block here, you get powered. If I place a torch here, you get depowered. How can I use that? If I place a block on top of here, again, I need an inverted pressure plate. I guess one thing I can do is pressure plate will depower this torch, which will then cause this torch to turn on. So I could then place my open crate up top here, right here, and a hopper going in right there. So it will lift the entire structure up, but, and break you of course, that seems like it should work. So just to test this, if I take some redstone, I'll throw a little bit in here, it will drop 2 down here, which will then cause that to light up, which will then stop any additional items from flowing in. Similarly, let's throw a handful of pixie dust in here. It's not going anywhere until this gets picked up, which will then cause that to drop. And it drops some of both, which I think is okay. Now the objective here is just to kind of hold it in case, so it's not just like backed up or constantly dropping things. I want it to just kind of sit there until there's room for it. So I think that'll work. Now next up I need to figure out where I can squeeze in a random carpus where it won't get depowered because of the redstone. So one question is, what is the actual range of pickup on a random carpus? The range of placing is quite wide, but it can only pick up from a much smaller area around it. So I wonder if it can reach from there. So let's go ahead and toss a little bit of dirt in here. It'll probably just start filling everything up if it's able to reach it. So it is able to reach that. That's good to know. Of course, it's going to randomly place, so I would need to place underneath there a random mossy livingwood plank, which will be visible from below, which isn't great. But let's see where that actually comes out. Right there. Is that bad? Is that annoying? Maybe a bit of both. Let's go ahead and grab our dirt out of here. So you stop. Thank you. And I think, you know, that might work. So Mr. Random Carpus, you can go back here. Go right there. Thank you. Dirt, you can come with me. And where else did it place? Randomly over here. It's kind of interesting that it just goes everywhere, but that's kind of what I figured. Break all this, and we'll be right back once I get a couple more materials. Okay, so other than an extra pure daisy here to place over on this side, this should be basically working. So livingwood, turn you into livingwood planks, grab a seed here, and grab one of these out. So we only really need one because we only have one random carpus. Let's head downstairs here and swap out the dirt block that I placed. That wasn't what I wanted. Go down here. You, replace you with one of these. I can probably make that look better. For right now, it's just going to be that one random place, but I need something there. So pop back upstairs, and at this point, the redstone for the random carpet should basically be done. I do need to set up the corporeal crystal cubes and all that stuff to actually control this, but let's go ahead. Let's place some dirt down on these guys because we don't want them active. And do I have any regular wood on me? I do not. What about stone? I do have stone. Okay. So let's throw 31 stone. So that's going to get picked up. And we'll place it over here, which will start the actual process. It's going to be just kind of slowly placing. That's fine. I think what I'm going to do is put maybe a 2-minute timer. So it'll be sitting here. It'll be a little slower than it technically needs to be because it's only 1 minute to actually convert. But it'll give it some time so that sometimes it'll break it and it'll still be stone. Sometimes it'll break it and it'll be living stone or living rock. So it doesn't really matter about the efficiency. It's all going to be automated anyway. And honestly, as far as whenever I build an automation thing like this, I don't really care how fast it is, as long as it's just constant. So, I mean, I'm not going to go through a whole lot of this. I'm just going to set it for like 8 stacks and then be done with it. But that should be working. So I still need the mana stuff here as well as the corporea controls. So for corporea, this is actually really easy and really compact. So crystal cube here, crystal cube here. One of you will be for stone, one of you will be for wood, or living rock, whatever. Next up, we need our comparator, and we need bookcase. So bookcases are really nice for many reasons. One is, of course, the powered level, or the level picker, I guess. The other is it's directional. So if I place it here, it will not be powering this open crate or the hoppers. It's only going to be powering to the sides there and to the back. The back I don't care about. The sides are going to be where it's controlling the comparators. So let's place one here and one right here. And then I can never remember which one's which, so we're just going to place it right here and hope for the best. So let's go ahead. We need to get a bunch of droppers and actually wire Corporea to reach over here. Well, our nearest Corporea line is actually down here in this building. If we go downstairs, which is over here, we have a couple. Yeah, so this dropper right here, which is, there's the corner, one over that way. Let's hop upstairs. So here's the corner and one over this way. There we go. So that is the nearest Corporea line. I could just go down all the way down to the sewer system there and bring it over. I could also just kind of go just directly underground here. For consistency, I should probably put it down here. For ease of what I'm doing and getting it done now, I'm just going to do it up here. So you are right here. So 1, 2 is the bricks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is right here. So break you, place a dropper. Droppers just because they're, I guess, cheaper redstone wise. Not redstone, cheaper tick rate wise than, say, chests or other things. So I'm just going to use them here. And where did my Corporea go? Did I leave that upstairs? I think I left it up here in this box. Over here. Thank you. 6 should be enough. Oh, I have another crystal cube. Okay. So let's go back downstairs. And you get one of these. Now, one question that I kind of have is whether or not this, when it's turned into a path, will still work. Like whether you're able to see the spark through it. Whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gets it right here. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which would be visible, which is not ideal. Instead, if I place it, say, I guess I can place it underneath here. Maybe right here will fit. And don't know why I only grabbed one dropper. Let's grab a handful of them. One right here and spark. So that should all reach. Let me grab my wand and double check that. And if we right click our spark, we can see that we do get lines connecting everything, so it is hooked up. So let's go ahead and stone bricks, cover you back up. Now that's there, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there. Now I don't care if the Corporea is visible from inside. I still want it to be visible outside. Oops, saw the spark there for a second. Good enough. Hop back up. And let's see where that hole came out. Right here. Okay, that works. And dropper, you can go right there, give you a spark, and call it a day. Now you two, you go right here and here. And let's see, I need Livingwood. You can go in this one. We should have some amount. I guess we can check to make sure that that is actually connected. Yes, that connects down there, which means it should connect over there because it won't do that if it doesn't have access to a main spark. So it says 0. That's a little troubling because I thought I had some, but I may have actually just taken all of it that I had. So let's throw it in here. You'll go back to base. You update saying 22. Awesome. We're working. And next up, same story, but with livingrock. We have 103 of that. Okay, so Corporea, you are now wired up. You are working just nice, just fine. Dandy, it's working. Cool. Next up, I think I need some blood nodes here. And I think just a blood node straight on top would work. Yeah. In fact, I could use blood nodes instead of the hopper. That would work too. And then just disable the blood node. Kinda don't care. This works. I do want to point out the reason why I have 2 different redstone controls here. So The corporea, that's pretty explanatory. It's got corporea, which is controlling whether or not I have enough in my system, to stop the producing system. So that's pretty self-explanatory. This one over here, though, why are you blinking? Oh, because it's going to go away. Okay, so this one here exists so that it's not just constantly dumping. Because if you notice, right now, this comparator is off. So that comparator being off means that if since I'm low on Livingwood, it would just constantly be pouring wood into here. And it'll just constantly stack up, and I'll get 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks, however long it takes for it to actually start despawning after 5 minutes. Which will just kind of waste a lot of wood, and there's no need to waste it. Waste not, want not. So since this system here, this will shut down it from dropping anything, either the stone or the wood. Whether or not we actually have enough in the system, it'll just prevent it from flowing, and it'll just keep 2 here. Now the 2 here, eventually they will despawn, or they could despawn, I should say. The difference being that, in theory, this will never be full. It won't just sit here like this. It'll sit for 2 minutes, and then the 2 spreaders over here will fire. Speaking of which, those need to be pulse spreaders. Those will fire, which will then break all of this, whether it is turned into living rock or if it's just regular stone. That will, of course, turn the stone into cobblestone, but we'll get to smelting later. So basically, like I said, it'll waste a little bit occasionally, possibly, but this should never sit here for more than 2 minutes, which means that will never sit there for more than 2 minutes. If anything, we'll just have 2 extra items in our storage once everything's done. Of all the things to be out of, I'm out of coal. How am I out of coal? Any coal in here? No. Alright, well I need to get some coal because I need that for these recessive runes, or recessive spark augments, which need earth runes, which need coal. So, we'll be back once we get some mining. Alrighty, we got 22 stacks. That should be enough. So, or not 22 stacks, we have 22 blocks. So that gets us 12. I only actually need 10. Let's toss you back in. There we go. And I think that should be enough. We have 10 blocks of coal, 10 things of mana powder. We've got 10 things of stone here. I need 10 mana steel. Actually need 20 mana steel. And mushrooms. Okay. And unfortunately, this is still a very manual process. We'll get around to automating this later. You know, I have these in the wrong order. You go there. Okay. Rock, wand, blank. So, yep. It'll take a little bit, but I need a whole bunch of these. Actually, I only need, I think, 2 right now, but I'm going to use lots of them later. Alrighty, back over here, we have 2 recessive and now 2 dominant as well. So that is about all we need. Let's get our sparks. So you get a spark, you get a spark, and these get the recessive. You and you. There we go. And then similarly over here, these get the dominant. Now I'm actually going to pause on that for a moment because this mana spreader, you need to be a pulse mana spreader. In fact, let me grab that. Thank you. And then there's also the issue of collection. So that's going to be a thing that we need to figure out. And I think you just need redstone dust, don't you? Okay. So that's just you and you. Gets us 2 pulse mana spreaders. And let's hook these up. You and you. And then we can link them over to where they belong. Which is over here. Oh, is this not in bind mode? There we go. You bind to over here. There we go. Okay, and similarly, you to over here to this one. And with 2 of those bound, we can plop our sparks on here. Dominant on there, dominant on there. Those will fill up instantly. And let's go ahead and make ourselves a button. And a block, just to double check that everything is all working. That should do nothing because I didn't put the bore lenses on. Right. Okay, try that again. That breaks all the way through. Dirt. Okay, so that's going to be a thing, is that the Rancarpus is going to try to pick up the living rock and living wood because it is right in the middle here. Right, hadn't thought of that. So I think what we can do instead of having it in the middle there is we can actually put it probably about right here. And if it's here, then it doesn't really matter what's underneath it. I don't need to have it stand out. It's just going to be right here. So we're going to place our dirt and Rancarpus on top. Perfect. So let's give this a test by throwing 12 stone in here. 2 will drop out, that's fine. And break you. So that will go all the way through. It didn't update the rendering. There we go. And that should then start placing in our smooth stone pretty much right away. So it'll take a little bit. It is a little slow process, but I think it's fine. The odd thing is that we're on an odd number. Wait, oh, there's 2. Okay. There we go. Yeah, perfect. So that filled everything in. It took a little bit, but like I said, it doesn't really matter the speed here. And I think, pick up all our cobble. We got 6 cobble, and we got plenty of living rock. So I think this is basically done. Alrighty, I want to try something. So I've got this set for 1 stack. And, oh, my headset was caught on something. There we go. Got this set for 1 stack. And so the Livingwood here is, I guess the comparator is off, which means that it's on. And then this one over here, of course, is overstacked, so it's fine. So what I've done is I have an item collector down below there. Now, the thing I'm trying to figure out is this pressure plate. It's going to be within the range, and I can't really do much about that because, well, when these break, it can go just about anywhere. So if I hit the break button, it'll break all those, they'll get picked up pretty much right away. There's currently nothing on the pressure plate, so it doesn't do anything. Rendering's really weird. Anyway, so if we throw a whole bunch of wood in here, and I mean all of it, that's what I thought. So the problem is that the item collector is picking it up before the Rancarpus can. That's kind of annoying. I wonder if there's a way I can put a delay on that. Mr. Item Collector, no. I can of course tell it to not pick up the wood. Okay, where did you spawn? F7, no, there's no spots. But no, really, where did you spawn? F4? F4, there we go. Yeah, nothing in here is spawnable. Okay, well, thank you FTB Utilities for having claimed chunks not allow things to blow up. Yeah, you shouldn't have been here anyway. Anyway, back to what I was saying, which is, I don't know if I can put a delay on the collector here, because, well, there's nothing really here to do it. I can stick the filter to prevent it from picking up wood, but I do want it to pick up the extra wood that gets broken if it gets broken early. But what are the odds of that anyway? Well, I got an item filter here, set it in blacklist mode, and stone and wood are added to it. So let's throw it in here, and that should work. So if I go up here, and let's just toss this into one of these, you should work. Awesome, so it's not picking up there, Rancarpus should place it, and we're in business. There are 2 things left to do to bring this fully online. Also, I just realized, I'm not really sure why I have a space here, but it does line up nicely with the crate. Not sure why I did that. Anyway, what we've got to do is our hovering hourglass here. I just placed this in. We need some sand. So soul sand is a minute each, so 2 minutes should be good. And the other thing that we need to do is up here. So every other automation I've done this season, what I've done is I've had basically a interim ender chest. So basically everything grabs from one ender chest and then drops it off. I guess each building has its own ender chest, I should say. So like the furnace, it has its own. The sand place to clay, it has its own. And over here, we don't have that yet. So I'm kind of torn. Do I want to continue with that and have all the ender chests kind of stored over there at base, which is an idea, or do I want to just hook things up directly? Because that's looking really tempting, because then it's just boom, boom, done. But, so the reason why I've been doing it that way, actually, is that way over here at base, we have this one little storage thing down below here, and basically each of these can be toggled on and off from here at home. These are currently off. And it also works out nicely because these do have a maximum throughput. So by having it stock up these chests, it gives a little bit of buffer. So basically, these aren't going to have to kick into action in high gear right away, just once it drops below whatever number it should be. So I should probably continue doing that. Yeah, just continue doing that. So we have here 2 blank slate ender chests. we need some color in these. Now I'm kind of thinking green. The reason for that is elves are green, I guess. So let's do green, green. Green, green, white works. Just needs to be something unique. We'll go with green, green, white. That's gonna, one of these is gonna stay here at home. Thank you. And there we go. And then the other one's gonna go over to our little Elven Exchange area. So this guy here, you need a filter before I do much of anything. Let's go ahead and grab one of those. Alrighty, Mr. Output Routing Node, you, facing up, get a filter. So currently nothing. Let's throw some stone in there, and I think 32 is a good number on that. And we also need some wood. So you, again, I think we'll just go with 32. We basically have infinite of both of those, although at the moment stone is not automatically being made, but I think it said we have 45 stacks, so we should be fine. So you are set up enough. So now green, green, white. You can go right here. You will get a sign in a little bit. Do I have a sign on me? No, I don't. That's fine. That's set up. And it should automatically be... Should? Excuse me? What are you doing? Ah, right. You. You need to be west facing? No. North facing. North needs a filter as well. So, turn you on, please. That's annoying. And I don't have a white, white, white down here. Over here. Okay, so let me clean this up. Alrighty, so I went ahead. I've got a filter north facing here, filter up there. So this one can be turned back on. Yes, so you should not be filled up with anything except for stone is apparently getting a full stack. But that might be because this guy decided he needs to send more stone. Because you are set for 32, you are set for 32. Okay. You have wood, you have stone. Other way around, yes. Let's go back over here. I need an input node first. Let's grab one from over here. I think I have one. Yes, one input node. Perfect. So now we can fly back over here. Let's run upstairs. I don't really have any particular place that this is needed. It just needs to exist somewhere. So for a nice central location, I think we can go just against the wall right there. And you need an input node there. I will also need a master node. And I think then that these should be good. So you are set for stone, 16. You are set for wood, 16. So I just need to link these together with a master node. And we're back. So we've got our node here, nodes over there, and let's stick our master node just kind of on the ceiling, just about wherever. Let's at least make it somewhat centered. I say somewhat because that wall is not actually centered on this wall, but it's at least centered with that. So that works. So let's take our node router, bind you with you, node linked, awesome. Let's bind you with, over here, you. So now that should start dropping wood. Should start dropping wood. Oh, no, it won't because I have it set for one stack. Cool. And let's go over here with this one. And similarly, bind you. I could bind this directly to the other output node here, but I think it looks a little bit better if you have it branching more. And there we have it. It's done. Let's go ahead, clear up a little bit of room, and let's turn this thing on. So if we take this, right now it is set for one stack. It's right here. So it's set for 2. So we can go ahead and watch it. Should start placing those down. We've got a little bit less than a minute, so pretty much all of the stone here is going to get turned into cobble. Too bad. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Actually, you know what? We can go like this. We'll take you out, put you back in. So that'd be like it just fired, and it's going to be able to work to change all these. It'll have enough time, and then after 2 minutes, it'll fire. Ideally, I'd probably do a minute and a half. I should have timed to see how long it actually takes to place all of this down, because that's really what the variable is. But this system should be working. So once that time is up, it will fire. It'll take out all these. Those will get collected downstairs, and this will start filling up again. Now that one will be probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're not going to quite be there yet. Okay. Well, oh well, we'll wait. well, they have all changed, so that's good. This is, as intended, halfway done, so that's going to just kind of keep going. Let me just kind of make a mental note here. This is set for 118, and you have 71. So we're going to watch that, but I need to go get a couple mana void things because this is actually full. Or rather, these here are now full, which also means that my stuff over there is full because this guy here, he's not able to dump out his mana anymore, which means it's not able to switch. So that's good. It means that this system works. So that's cool. This one here, though, I guess I'm just going to end up losing a mana burst per. And I have infinite mana, so I don't really care. But while we're over here, before we go too far away, that timer is about to flip. Timer should flip very soon here. Breaks all those. Starts placing them again. And that got collected. Let's check our numbers over here. You increased, you're now 124. And you are 77. I don't remember what the number was. Yes, previously it was 71, now it's at 77. This thing works. Which means I don't need to look at it ever again. Except for these guys, these need the mana void. So let's go ahead and figure out what it takes to make those void. It is just called mana void. Okay, so that is livingrock and obsidian. Okay, easy enough. Alrighty, so break these two, don't need you anymore, and let's place the voids underneath them. And there we go, the system is now finally done. So that's going to change, those are going to switch real soon, eventually. Now this will actually fill up entirely, this will fill up, and it'll just keep sending it. So if once it's full, it'll then void any additional mana that comes in, which works. Like I said, it'll waste it a little bit, but being as this is infinite based off of my LP supply, which if we just check it real quick here, is full. We have 10.2 million out of our 10 million. So we have plenty of LP, which is what's powering the lava, which is what's powering the mana, which is what's powering this. So infinite is infinite. We can just void it. We don't need to care. Generally, I don't like voiding anything in Minecraft. I just don't like wasting things. But, like I said, it's infinite, so it's okay. And with this whole contraption behind us complete, I think we can call this for an episode. We actually completely finished this project in one go. The mana is all set up. It's currently turned off because it can't drain this all the way. But we have Living Rock and Livingwood now completely automated. Don't need to look at it ever again. Don't need to go mine it. Don't need to monitor it at all. We just have infinite. I also did move the Living Rock and Livingwood over into the storage drawer network, so they each have dedicated drawers to themselves, so it's not going to be taking up room in my botania chest, which is good. But like I said, it is completely done. It is working. I might try to see if I can make it a little bit prettier. For instance, I can move the diluted mana pools here. I can move those underneath the mana spreaders. You don't actually need anything underneath you. And do something about the middle here. I don't know. Can figure out how I want to make that look pretty, but it works, which is awesome. That's really the main thing that I care about at this point. So with that, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.